Great good morning to all. I Sumit Kumar Singh welcome all of you in Magatputra DREAM-IAS YouTube channel. My dear friends, today in this video we are going to talk UPSC Civil Services Mains Examination 2018 question paper of General Studies Paper-4. It's also known as the ethics paper. So the purpose of this video only to read, revise and recall the previous year question. I am not going to any elaborations, any discussions, any analysis of this question. I only going to read this question. By reading, revising, you by yourself evaluate the question paper. What are the important points? What are the important areas? Or what are the pattern of asking the question by the commission? So let us start. Time allot 3 hours. Maximum marks 250 marks. General Studies paper 4. GS paper 4. Now, first we will read question paper specific instructions. Please read each of the following instructions carefully before attempting questions. There are 12 questions divided in 2 sections printed both in Hindi as well as in English. All questions are compulsory. The number of marks carried by a question part is indicated against it. Answer must be written in the medium authorized in the admission certificate, which must be stated clearly on the cover of the question cum answer booklet. In the space provided, no marks will be given for answers written in a medium other than the authorized one. Keep the word limit indicated in the questions in mind. Any page or portion of the page left blank in the question cum answer booklet must be clearly struck off. Now, we will read section A, question number 1. 1A. State the 3 basic values universal in nature in the context of civil services and bring out their importance. 150 words and 10 marks. Now, distinguish between the code of ethics and code of conduct with suitable examples. 150 words, 10 marks. Now, question number 2, A and B. What is meant by the public interest? What are the principles and procedures to be followed by the civil servant in the public interest? 150 words, 10 marks. Now, 2B. The Right to Information Act is not all about citizens' empowerment alone. It's essentially to redefine the concept of accountability. Discuss. Now, question number 3A. What is meant by conflict of interest? Illustrate with examples the difference between the actual and potential conflict of interest. 150 words, 10 marks. Now, B. In looking for the people to hire, you look for the 3 qualities: integrity, intelligence and energy. And if they do not have the first, other 2 will kill you. Warren Buffett. What do you understand by this statement in the present day scenario? Explain. Now, question number 4. 4A. In doing a good thing, everything is permitted, which is not prohibited expressly or by clear implications. Examine the statement with suitable examples in the context of a public servant discharging his or her duties. Now, 4B. With regard to morality of actions, one view is that means are of paramount importance and the other view is that the ends justified the means. Which view do you think is more appropriate? Justify your answer. 150 words and 10 marks. Now, question number 5A. Suppose the government of India is thinking of constructing a dam in a mountain valley bound by forest and inhabited by ethnic communities. What rational policy should it resort to in dealing with unforeseen contingencies? 150 words and 10 marks. Now, 5B. Question number 5 or B. Explain the process of resolving ethical dilemmas in the public administration. 150 words, 10 marks. Question number 6. What do each of the following quotation mean to you in the present context? The true rule in determining to embrace or reject anything is not whether it has any evil in it, but whether it has more evil than good. There are a few things, wholly evil or wholly good. Almost everything, especially of governmental policy, is an inseparable compound of two, so that our best judgment of the preponderance between them is continually demanded. Abraham Lincoln, 150 words and 10 marks. Now, B. Anger and intolerance are the two enemies of correct understanding. Mahatma Gandhi, 150 words and 10 marks. Now, question C. Falsehood takes the place of truth when it results in unblemished common good. Trikral, 150 words, 10 marks. Now, we are going to read the section B. Question number 7. Rakesh is a responsible district level officer who enjoyed the trust of his higher officials. Knowing his honesty, the government entrusted him with the responsibility of identifying the beneficiaries under healthcare scheme Mint for senior citizens. The criteria to be beneficiary are the following: A. 60 years of age or above, B. belonging to a reserved community, and C. family income less than 1 lakh per annum, and D. post-treatment prognosis is likely to be high to make a positive differences to the quality of life of the beneficiary. One day, an old couple visited Rakesh's office with their application. They have been the resident of a village in his district since their birth. The old man is diagnosed with a rare condition that causes obstructions in their large intestine. As a consequence, he has severe abdominal pain frequently that prevent him from doing any physical labor. The couple has no children to support them. The expert surgeon whom they contacted is willing to do surgery without charging any fee. However, the couple will have to bear the cost of incidental charges such as medicines, hospitalization, etc. To the tune of rupees 1 lakh, the couple fulfill all the criteria except the criterion B. However, any financial aid would certainly make a significant differences in their quality of life. How should Rakesh respond to this situation? Question: 250 words and 20 marks. Now we will read question number 8. Question number 8. As a senior officer in the ministry, you have access to an important policy decisions and upcoming big announcements such as a road construction project. Before they are noticed in the public domain, the ministry is about to announce a mega road project for which the drawings are already in place. Sufficient care was taken by the planners to make use of the governmental land with a minimum land acquisition from private parties. Compensation rate for the private parties was also finalized as per the government rules. Care was also taken to minimize deforestation. When the project is announced, it is expected that there will be a huge spurt in real estate prices in and around that area. Meanwhile, the ministers concerned insisted that you realign the road in such a way that it comes closer to his 20-acre farm house. He also suggested that he would facilitate purchase of a big plot of land in your wife's name at the prevailing rate, which is very nominal, in and around the proposed mega road project. He also tried to convince you by saying that there is no harm in it, as he is buying the land legally. He even promises to supplement your saving in the case you do not have sufficient funds to buy the land. However, by the act realignment, a lot of agricultural land has to be acquired, thereby causing considerable financial burden on the government and also displacement of the farmers. As if this is not enough, it will involve a cutting down of large numbers of trees, denuding the area of its green cover. Faced with this situation, the question here arises. Faced with this situation, what will you do? Critically examine various conflicts of interest. Explain what are your responsibilities as a public servant. 250 words and 20 marks. Now, question number 9. Question number 9. It is a state where prohibition is in force. You are recently appointed as the superintendent of police of a district notorious for illicit distillations of liquor. The illicit liquor lead to many deaths, reported and unreported, and causes a major problem for the district authorities. The approach till now had been to view it as a law and order problem and tackle it accordingly. Raids, arrests, police cases, criminal trials, all these had only limited impact. The problem remains as serious as ever. Your inspection shows that the part of the district where the distillations flourishes are economically, industrially, and educationally backward. Agriculture is badly affected by the poor irrigation facilities. Frequent clashes among communities give boost to illicit distillation. No major initiative has taken place in the past, either from the government side or from social organization, to improve the lot of the people. Which new approach will you adopt to bring the problem under the control? 250 words and 20 marks. Now, question number 10. Question number 10. A big corporate house is engaged in manufacturing industrial chemical on a large scale. It proposes to set up an additional unit. Many states rejected proposal due to detrimental effect on the environment, but one state government acceded to the request and permitted the unit close to a city, brushing aside all opposition. The unit was set up 10 years ago and was in the full swing till recently. The pollution caused by the industrial effluents was affecting the land, water, and the crops in the area. It was also causing a serious health problems to human beings and animals. This gave rise to a series of agitations demanding the closure of the plant. In a recent agitation, thousands of people took part, creating a law and order problem necessitating a stern police action. Following the public outcry, the state government ordered the closure of the factory. The closure of the factory resulted in the unemployment of not only those workers who are engaged in the factory, but also those who were working in the ancillary units. It's also very badly affected those industries which are dependent on chemical manufactured by it. As a senior officers entrusted with the responsibility of handling the issues, how are you going to address it? 250 words and 20 marks. Now, question number 11. Question number 11. Dr. X is a leading medical practitioner in a city. He has set up a charitable trust through which he plans to establish a super specialty hospital in the city to cater to the medical needs of all sections of society. Incidentally, that part of the estate had been neglected over the years. The proposed hospital would be a boon for the region. You are heading the tax investigations agency of that region. During an inspection of the doctor clinic, your officers have found out some major irregularities. A few of them are substantial, which has resulted in considerable withholding of tax that should be paid by him now. The doctor is cooperative. He undertakes to pay the tax immediately. However, there are certain other deficiencies in his tax compliance, which are purely technical in nature. If these technical defaults are caused by the agency, considerable time and energy of the doctor will be diverted to the issues which are not so serious, urgent, or even helpful to the tax collection process. Further, in all probability, it will hamper the prospects of the hospital coming up. Now, there are two options before you. Number 1. Taking a broader view ensures substantial tax compliance and ignore defaults that are merely technical in nature. And B. Pursue the matter strictly and proceed on all fronts, whether substantial or merely technical. As the head of the tax agency, which course of action will you opt for and why? Now, question number 12. Edward Snowden, a computer expert and the former CIA system administrator, released confidential government documents to the press about the existence of government surveillance program. According to many legal experts, the US government and his action violated the Espionage Act of 1970, which identified the leak of state secrets as an act of treason. Yet, despite the fact that he broke the law, Snowden urged that he had a moral obligation to act. He gave a justification for his whistleblowing by stating that he had a duty to inform the public that as to that which is done in their name and that which is done against them. According to Snowden, the government violation of privacy had to be exposed regardless of legality, since more substantive issues of social action and public morality were involved here. Many agreed with Snowden. Few urged that he broke the law and compromised national security, for which he should be held accountable. Do you agree that Snowden's actions were ethically justified if legally prohibited? Why or why not make an argument why weighing the competing values in this case? 250 words and 20 marks. So I think that's all. 12th question. I sum up all the question by reading it one by one. And today in this video we are looking the Civil Services Mains Examination 2018 General Studies Paper 4. General Studies Paper 4. So in the series of knowing the previous year questions, we today look 2018 Civil Services Mains General Studies Paper 4. Gradually we will look 2019-20, and in the previous video we have already summed up the 2014, 15, 16 or 17. So that's all today in this video. Now by knowing all the reading all the questions, you evaluate yourself from which area or which section the paper were easy or hard, and the pattern of asking the question by the commission. These are generally the case-based or the ethics paper. From this paper, the UPSC generally want to test the personality or the integrity or dignity of the aspirants. So prepare these questions with a broad or open-minded and answer it very wisely, cohesive and coherent manner, so that it's very scoring paper. You will score well. That's all. Thank you. If you are the first time on my channel, then like it, share it, as well as subscribe it. Thank you. Have a great day.